If you're starting a homestead, stop wasting money with the wrong animals. What do I mean by that? Specific types, specific breeds within type. You can mess this up if you don't know what you're doing. I have raised about every critter you can imagine. Some were a dream and others, not so much. In this video, I'm going to break down the best livestock options for beginners. The ones that are easy to manage, affordable to get started with, and actually make sense for a small farm. Before we dive into the animals, let me hit you with 3 questions you need to ask yourself. How much time do you really have to put into this? Different types of livestock require more or less work depending on what they are. Second thing, budget. What's your budget up front and monthly? Obviously, a smaller animal requires less feed, i.e. budget, than a larger animal. And maybe the most important question, what are your goals? Are you looking for eggs, meat, milk, manure, companionship, or all the above? Your answers will narrow things down pretty quick. And trust me, starting too big, too fast is one of the main reasons why people quit. Let's start with chickens. They're kind of the no-brainer starter for most people. Chickens are the gateway livestock for a reason. They don't cost very much. You got a daily food return in eggs. And they don't take up a lot of space. Most of you can find a spot for chickens. But understand, they're not made as free. They scratch around, create a lot of dust. They take a bath in dust. And they poop everywhere. And if you don't predator-proof your coop, you'll learn that lesson the hard way. Let's take a second and, well, talk about rabbits. Rabbits are quiet, and they can be extremely productive. Generally, meat rabbits fly under the radar, but they're perfect if you've got a small backyard or even limited space. We keep about a dozen rabbits here at any one given time. They don't make any noise, which is good for you city folks. And they reproduce relatively quick. The good thing about rabbits is they will teach you a ton about raising animals. If you can do a rabbit, you can raise a camel, if you want to go that direction. But understand, they do require a learning curve. They have one when it comes to breeding and harvesting. And frankly, for some people, harvesting rabbits can be pretty emotional. Let's talk about goats for a minute. Goats are a lot of fun. We have had hundreds, if not thousands, of goats here over the years. They're clever, they're hilarious, and they're great for clearing brush, and of course we get a lot of milk from them. But understand, goats are escape artists. If your fencing has a weak spot anywhere, they'll find it. And after you fix it, they'll find another one tomorrow. So understand, your fencing has to be impeccable. Goats are also companion animals. What does that mean? That means you have to have at least 2. They're herd type animals, just like deer. And so you have to have at least 2, and they hate being alone. I've actually heard stories where people had a single goat. They didn't know any better, they bought one. And that goat died because they had no companionship. But with that said, goats can also be a great second step, if you're ready, after chickens. I've had a lot of people ask me, should they start with a cow? And my answer, only if you're already comfortable managing pasture, feed, fencing, and daily routines. Cows are expensive. Hay is expensive, especially in the winter. Milking is darn near a full-time job. You have to do it twice a day, early in the morning and early in the evening. If you're not 100% confident, wait until you've got a few years under your belt with smaller livestock. If I could start over, this is how I'd do it. First, I'd start with chickens. Obviously, eggs and compost. Then I'd go to rabbits. They're quiet, space efficient, and you get a lot of meat. Then goats, but only after you have your fencing figured out. And finally, after you have everything else put together and the knowledge where you need it to be, I'd consider cows or pigs. Look, don't rush it. Every animal you bring in needs food, shelter, fencing, and attention. If you're serious about getting started the right way, hit that like button and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what animal or animals you're planning on starting with. Or if you've already started, what you wish you'd done differently. Until next time, I'll see you down at the barn.